Now, as we've heard, polling stations across Iraq have now closed, and despite the bloodshed over the past few days, voter turnout is said to have been high. For more on the election, Middle East Correspondent Ben Knight joins us now from Baghdad. And Ben, this high voter turnout certainly does augur well, doesn't it?
Well, Michael, it does. I wouldn't say that this has been a perfect election, not by any stretch. We did have, of course, the drama last month when hundreds of candidates were banned from standing. But in the scheme of things, and in the recent history of Iraq, you can see why electoral officials here have been calling this a triumph, a glorious day, and especially also after the start to the day that we had, which of course you've just seen. We woke up this morning to the sound of explosions. We knew that they were big, and when they kept going, we wondered what sort of day would be in store, whether the insurgents would, in fact, succeed in achieving their aim of trying to completely derail this election. It has to be said that the Iraqi people who turned up at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock this morning at the polling stations, who walked to those polling stations, hearing those explosions going on around them and knowing that the polling place that they were walking to was itself a target, it was incredibly brave. But there was not an atmosphere of tension. There was an atmosphere of optimism. There was a great mood. People here today really felt as though they were doing something special. And of course, once the bombing stopped and other people came out, there was a terrific mood in Baghdad, at least today. The government that is going to have to be formed after this election, and of course we still don't know what the results are, this government is going to have to be built along lines that are not sectarian. This is going to have to be a broad coalition. It's going to have to be Sunni, it's going to have to be Shia, Kurdish, Christian, secular. What we saw today in Iraq was a vote that really was another rejection, another repudiation of the religious and tribal divisions that have been played on so much over the past 4 years in particular in Iraq.
How long will it take before we get some semblance of a result from this election?
Well, what we saw tonight, we've just seen a press conference that was held by the head of the Independent Electoral Commission, who said two things. One, it was a glorious election, and two, wait. Everybody just wait. This is going to take some time. Now, what we have at the moment is, of course, ballot papers that are all over the country. They're in warehouses. There's a curfew in place in Baghdad at the moment, and I understand that that is to make sure that those ballot papers are able to travel safely into Baghdad. They'll go into the international zone, where they'll then be counted. There are millions of them, of course. It's a national election, and it is going to take some time, and the Independent Election Commission is not giving anything away until the official results are able to be delivered.